Welcome back to the Britannia Coin Company. We're a coin dealer based in Royal Wootton Bassett in the UK. Today we're going to be looking at birthday coins with our recent video about Prince William's 40th birthday £5 coin that has recently come out. It had me rummaging through our stocks and I realised just how many individuals have had their birthdays commemorated on coins. If coincidentally it's your birthday the day this video goes up, and with over 7.8 billion people on the planet and estimates of between 20 and 50 million people having a birthday each day, then happy birthday to you, whoever you are. Our first coin we will look at is this one, a silver-proof £5 coin from 1996, which celebrates none other than the Queen's 70th birthday. The coin is designed by Avril Vaughan, who also designed the Queen Mother Memorial £5 coin in 2002. You can see Windsor Castle in the background to the bottom of the coin and flags blowing in the wind. From left to right we have the Royal Standard, the Queen's personal flag and the Union flag. Above and below them are the Queen's year of birth and the year of her 70th birthday. Now, I was aware of the Royal Standard, which is flown when the Queen is in residence, in a vehicle, or flown at a building she's making an official visit to. But her personal flag was an intriguing topic. It was created at the Queen's request in 1960 so that she could have a flag to use to symbolise her as an individual rather than as Queen of a nation. It has seen common use at Commonwealth trips or gatherings where she is head of state of many countries. It was first used in 1961 on a royal visit to India. The design is a crowned E surrounded by a garland of roses to symbolise the countries of the Commonwealth, all in gold and on a blue background. On the obverse of this coin is the Queen's third portrait by Raphael Maclouf, with the denomination at the bottom, and there were just under 40,000 of these silver proofs minted. From the Queen to her son and heir to the throne, Prince Charles, this silver-proof £5 coin is the first coin to mark one of his birthdays, as in 1998 he turned 50. The design was by Michael Noakes and Robert Elderton. The latter of the two would also go on to design Prince Charles's 70th birthday coin as well. The coin depicts him and celebrates his work with the Prince's Trust, a charity he formed in 1976. The charity supports 11 to 30-year-olds who are struggling with employment, schooling, or at risk of exclusion to help them get their lives back on track. Each year they assist with 60,000 young people, and with a 3 in 4 success rate going forward into employment, volunteering or education. There were just over 13,000 of these silver proofs produced by the Royal Mint. Next up, a monumental milestone for the Queen Mother, who in the year 2000 celebrated her 100th birthday. This silver proof coin was designed by Ian Rank Broadley and portrays her wearing the Greville tiara, a personal favourite of hers. After her death, the Queen inherited it, and it is now on long-term loan to the Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla. Either side of the Queen Mother you can see people celebrating, and below her signature, which is strikingly similar to that of her daughter, Queen Elizabeth II, whose signature has just been minted on a coin for the first time in a 3 £5 coin set launched recently by the Royal Mint. Again, a topic we have covered on a previous video, which if you haven't seen, be sure to go and check that out as well. On December the 11th, 1936, after the abdication of her brother-in-law, King Edward VIII, she and her husband were crowned King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. Naturally, being the King's consort, she wasn't Elizabeth II, thereby making her daughter Elizabeth III. After the ascension of her daughters to the throne, she became commonly referred to as Queen Elizabeth the Queen Mother, to separate her from the now Queen Elizabeth II, as it was commonplace for a surviving parent of the current monarch to be referred as King or Queen. She lived to be 101 years and 238 days, at the time a record as being the longest lived member of the royal family. On the obverse we again see the work of Ian Rank Broadley with the Queen's fourth portrait, and there were 31,000 of these coins released. Prince Philip celebrated his 90th birthday in 2001, and this silver-proof £5 coin was released to commemorate the event. The coin was designed by Mark Richards, who had also designed the Prince William and Catherine wedding £5 coin in 2011, alongside £5 coins in 2014 and 15, commemorating Queen Anne and Winston Churchill. The design is a portrait of Prince Philip with text around the outer rim, keeping the canvas of the coin to focus on the Prince. He was born Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark, titles he would relinquish prior to marrying the future Queen, and adopted his maternal grandparents' surname Mountbatten. He would serve the Queen as consort from 1952 to his death in 2021, with his characteristic down-to-earth charm and beloved for his occasional gaffes and off-colour remarks. Despite this, the Queen described him as her strength and stay all these years in a speech marking their golden wedding anniversary. There were just over 6,000 of these silver proofs produced. Next up, we have a stunning Strike on the Day sovereign to mark the final royal birth for this video. From one much-loved Queen's consort to another, this marks the 200th anniversary of the birth of Prince Albert, husband to Queen Victoria. The design is naturally Benedetto Pistrucci's St. George slaying the dragon, and the coin itself has a matte finish which looks lovely. To the left of the year of issue 2019, you can see a special privy mark identifying this as being the strike on the day. The privy mark is a V and an A. He married Queen Victoria in 1840 and would serve as her consort until his death in 1861. He, much like Prince Philip, was a forward-looking and reforming consort, moving the monarchy above the fray of politics and promoting great causes such as the Great Exhibition in 1851. He also brought the royals into the lives of their subjects more, who had been ruled since 1714 by the Hanoverian dynasty, who were rather distant from the public eye. After his death, Queen Victoria entered a deep state of mourning and wore black for the rest of her life. After his death, public opinion of him grew even fonder, with monuments and buildings named in his honour, notably the Royal Albert Hall. It's not just royals who have had their birthdays commemorated on coins, so let's look outside of the royal dynasties. This coin was released in 2001 to mark the 200th anniversary of Robert Burns. The coin was created by the Royal Mint engraving team rather than an individual. It features lines from Auld Lang Syne, a poem which he wrote in 1788, and a popular song still sung at New Year's. Robert Burns, or commonly referred to as Rabbie Burns, is widely accepted as the national poet of Scotland, and in a 2009 poll was selected as the greatest Scot by the Scottish people. Much of his education was taught to him by his father. He worked as a farmer, although wrote poems of love to the women in his life. With a lack of success in farming, he accepted an offer from a friend as a bookmaker on a sugar plantation in Jamaica. To raise funds for his move, he was persuaded to publish his poems. His work was immediately successful, and soon he was known across the country. This success led to him postponing his planned emigration and eventually not moving abroad at all. He continued to have a successful career as a poet and lyricist, and after his death at the age of 37, his work went on to inspire generations of poets and lyricists. The day of his birth, the 25th of January, is celebrated as Burns Night, with the traditional address to the haggis read out as the haggis is cut open, a toast to the lassies, and after food the night is concluded with the singing of Auld Lang Syne. Of this silver-proof coin there were 20,000 minted and 5,000 for this presentation. This 2013 silver-proof 50 pence celebrates the 100th anniversary of the birth of Christopher Ironside. The reverse is designed by the man himself, finding its way onto our coinage 100 years after his birth. His name will be familiar to coin collectors as he designed the reverses for coinage after the UK went decimal in 1971. He worked on the designs for years under top secrecy, not allowed to discuss it even with his family. The design for this coin was his initial plan for the new definitive 50 pence, although the Royal Mint really wanted Britannia and he changed this to accommodate to their desires. Although the Royal Mint instructed him to create the designs initially, at the 11th hour the government decided to open up the design as a competition to the public. Mercifully, his designs were still chosen and would see use until their redesign in 2008. It wouldn't just be the coinage of the UK though, with success across the globe from Bahrain to the Isle of Man, Qatar to the United Nations, he is a modern icon of coin design, immortalised on our coinage with his own work. There were just over 6,500 of these silver proofs minted and 4,500 for this presentation. To mark the 100th anniversary of the birth of Benjamin Britten, this 50 pence coin was released by the Royal Mint. It was designed by Tom Phillips, who also designed the Dictionary 50p and the 2003 Coronation Jubilee £5 coin. His name is set in horizontal musical lines with the wording "Blow bugle blow and set the wild echoes flying below." Both are lines from Lord Tennyson's poem "The Splendour Falls on the Castle Walls," which was set to music by Britten in his serenade for tenor, horn and strings. He wrote 15 operas, establishing himself as one of the world's leading composers in the genre at the time. Although hypercritical of his own work and unsure of the title of genius bestowed on him by his contemporaries, singers and players admired his conducting and creativity, and there were only 2,000 of these silver-proof coins released. The 150th anniversary of the birth of Beatrix Potter was marked by this 50p coin, one of 5 coins to be released in 2016, with more Beatrix Potter and Peter Rabbit themed coins every year since this. The coin was designed by Emma Noble, who would return to the characters of Beatrix Potter in subsequent years. She wrote numerous books telling of the adventures of the now iconic childhood character Peter Rabbit and his friends, with Peter Rabbit celebrating his 120th anniversary earlier this year. Her work has stood the test of time, with successful movies having been released in recent years, and rumours of a third one in the works too. These were very popular when released into circulation as well, with a whole host of lovely characters to find and collect out in the wild. There were just under 7,500 of these silver-proof coins released by the Royal Mint. Our final birthday coin celebrates the 160th anniversary of the birth of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The coin features the silhouette of one of his most famous characters, Sherlock Holmes, with the names of his books surrounding it. This was the work of Stephen Raw, who also designed the Armistice and Sir Walter Scott £2 coin as well. He first created the character of Sherlock Holmes in 1887 for a book titled A Study in Scarlet, which you can actually see on the coin itself. And his work would be credited as a milestone in the genre of crime fiction. He also wrote about science fiction and fantasy as a prolific writer. He served as a volunteer physician during the Second Boer War, writing about it on his return, and it was this work that he felt led to his knighthood by King Edward VII in 1902. He also stood for Parliament twice as a Liberal Unionist, although gaining a fair share of the vote, was not elected either time. Not just his character Sherlock Holmes, he too investigated 2 closed cases. Being an advocate of justice himself, his investigation resulted in the exoneration of those wrongly convicted and helped in the formation of the Court of Criminal Appeals, which was established in 1907. Not just content with writing, politics, and exonerating wrongfully convicted individuals, he turned his hand to architecture, playing an active role in the planning and building of his home, which now serves as a school for children with disabilities. Whilst on a family holiday to Canada, he also designed a golf course and buildings for a hotel, which were built to his specifications. A truly talented gentleman, honoured on this silver-proof 50p, of which 7,500 were minted and 6,000 of them went into this presentation. Well, that's quite a few birthdays that we've covered that have been celebrated on coinage, so let me know which was your favourite. More importantly though, I really want to know, if you had a coin released to mark one of your birthdays, what would be minted on that coin? For me personally, it would probably have to be a couple of my favourite coins stacked up on a shelf. I think that's quite fitting. Down in the description there are links to our related products and products that featured in this video if you'd like to take a closer look on our website yourself. Be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. It's free to do. It means you won't miss any of our future uploads, and when we hit 4,000 subscribers we'll be doing another amazing giveaway. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where we post lots of images of our coins. We're on Twitter and TikTok. We've got our shop and online store, the links to which are all down in the description as well. I hope you've enjoyed today's birthday video, and I'll see you next time for more amazing coins with the Britannia Coin Company.